Hello, Wandering Beekeeper here, welcome. We are back in the magic world today to talk about Nature's Aura. Interesting mod, it's got a couple of cool things about it. We'll start with a quick review here. And we will be talking about ice and fire at some point. You notice I am holding a dragon command staff. The tower you're looking at is made entirely of iron block and has 3 dragons atop the platform. The side chambers are fledgling boxes. They're only big enough to hold a stage 2 dragon. Once they hit stage 3 and are able to fly, they go up to the platform. The iron block came entirely from that apiary. 2 bees, two iron bees, and a powered centrifuge, and an awful lot of honey. Really an awful lot of honey. But we've already seen resourceful bees. Let's get away from this noisy mana generator here and go talk about Nature's Aura, because it gets interesting. It starts with trees with golden leaves. The first thing you do is to craft a bit of brilliant fiber, and you drop it on the crown of a tree, and you wait. There's a lot of waiting. This is nature. This is all tree-based magic, and it takes time, or bone meal, and both, really. And you wait, and the golden leaves will spread down. Once the tree has gone completely golden, you cut it down, you get gold leaves. The gold leaves are ground into gold powder, not made from gold ingots, made from gold leaf. And the gold powder is used to draw the ritual pattern for your primary ritual altar. This right here, the set of wooden pegs and the diagram on the ground, is the primary ritual space for this mod. Yes, there's a lot of other stuff in the background. We'll get to it all. I put some of it rather close, could have spaced it out better. The ritual of the forest is your primary ritual, and you will be doing it a lot. Let's just make a thing really quickly here. See if I can make a small thing. Staff of Balder, which makes... Yeah, this is not a ritual casting. Here's how to make a token of joy. This is a token. The tokens are kind of like the runes in Britannia. You will need to make them early. You will need to make several of them. There are upgraded versions. Let us see. Bottled sunlight, torch, and a flower. Oh. Bottled sunlight. Off the filter. Torch and a flower. Torch and a flower. No, I don't want to pick any of the dandelions or the yellow flowers here. This is a Sarah blossom. It is a flower. Usual stuff going on here. You should be familiar with, if you're familiar with magic mods or you've been watching the videos, you know about placing stuff on pedestals. There's usually some sort of pedestals around the outside. of the ritual space where you place the material components, gold leaf, iron ingot, and an apple. There's a gold leaf. Bother it. Let's to it. I'm not going back to go hunt through chests. I can type. I'm not going to go back and hunt through chests to find the material components. Yes, I am terrible about organizing for these videos. I really need to get my notes into order and have my material components lined up, but this is kind of how I work. This is how my brain works, so it's just the way it is. We will grab a sapling. Most, not all, rituals of the forest require an oak sapling in the middle. Doesn't necessarily, it isn't always. There's one key one that uses a jungle sapling, and if you put an oak sapling out, ain't nothing gonna happen. Now we have to wait for the tree to grow. Well, we're not going to wait very long. We're going to bone meal it, because this counts too. It is the tree's growth that trips the ritual and starts it running. There go the material components. Are rising, and there goes our tree. And now we have 2 tokens of joy. That is how the ritual of the forest works. You're going to be doing that a lot. Planting a lot of trees and waiting for them to sprout, and just filter wasn't right there. It's annoying. Anyway, we're going to be doing that a lot. Once you have your 4 basic tokens made and a few other basic things that are put together in the ritual of the forest, and yeah, you're going to be laying this back out a lot. Matter of fact, I should go on and do that while I'm thinking about it, because I'm going to need it again. This is why I have multiple trees with gold leaves growing here. I'm going to need them. Partially, I need them to make the brilliant fiber that goes into the golden stone bricks that surround the natural altar. This is where you make your infused iron. The natural altar does not have a lot of uses. It's primarily seems to be for infused iron. I would like to see more infusions done at this altar. It takes a fair amount of effort to build it and some work to maintain it. There's a lot of aura concentrated in the pillars. You can see the special effects where the indicating the level, and the altar itself is very highly charged. It takes up a lot of energy. Aura, by the way, is mana. Just in this mod, it's called aura. In Ars Nouveau, it's called source. Some mods, it's called mana. It's all the same thing. Not interchangeable. Nature's aura energy is not interchangeable with Ars Nouveau, source, and so on. I don't think I'm not sure if anybody's done a mod that will convert magical energy over. I know there's been a lot of work done. Oops. Let's not have zombies interrupting us. There's been a lot of work done on converting RF to joules and that sort of thing for the technological mods. I don't know if there's been a mod done. I'm going to have to investigate that. Let's move on. We do have an Ars Nouveau construct here. This is a timed spell turret. The timed spell turret in Ars Nouveau does not appear to have a corresponding item in any other mod that I've seen. If you know of a mod that has something like the timed spell turret, let me know in the comments. I will be happy to go look into that mod and try it out. Every 90 seconds, this is firing a redstone go signal into the block underneath of the powder manipulator. The powder manipulator, when it's activated, will pull this powder of the bountiful core out and into the world and set it into action. 90 seconds later, that'll kick off, which means for a minute and a half, alternating, new ore is being generated. That powder of the bountiful core is tapping the aura of the area. You look up in the upper left corner, you'll see a little green bar about halfway up past the, not quite past the check mark. That bar is the it's the aura indicator for the area around me. It's the ambient. So this is tapping the ambient in order to use its ability. So we only leave it out for 90 seconds, and then we put it away for 90 seconds to let the aura regenerate. This is kind of a neat thing. This is an aura recharger, and it recharges by being shot. So every time I shoot it, see the bar tick up? There's that surge of aura from the top, and the little bar on the over there ticks up. Now, what I really need to do is to put rail around it and put a minecart with a dispenser and load it with arrows, because this thing, the target moves to the next face each time you shoot it. So I need a minecart going around and around clockwise, lobbing arrows at it every time it passes one of the faces. Haven't set that up yet. But yeah, easy way to turn arrows into aura recharge. This is the offering table. This is where you do the ritual of the offering to the gods. This is how you take infused iron and convert it into ingot of the skies, which is where you get the top level armor in this mod. It has to be surrounded by flowers. I chose dandelions because they are bright and cheerful. This is an aura bloom. It's an aura producing flower. It doesn't produce much, but if you put a few around, it gives a little boost, and it looks nice. I think Nature's Aura has done really well with the natural aesthetic, the putting everything outdoors. It works well. You really kind of want everything to be outside. These are ancient trees. They are part of Nature's Aura. You can make the saplings. This one's starting to look a little threadbare on the side closest to the Nature's Altar because the leaves will slowly turn into aura and decay. This is the second set of trees here. I had to replace them a while back because the last of the leaves finally fell and they were no longer producing aura. These trees produce aura, but yeah, they eventually will go bare, and then you cut them down, and then you have ancient wood and ancient planks and rods and so forth that you need for material components for a variety of devices. So you need to cut the trees down anyway. The Lamp of Sanctuary prevents hostile mob spawns when provided with a redstone signal. We're providing it with a strength 15 redstone signal. So yeah, we've got a fair amount of space around that's not being bothered. This construct I haven't tapped into. That is a redstone, is an RF tap. I could connect wire or universal cable or whatever. That is RF up there. It is converting. This array is converting ambient aura into RF. So we have an energy conversion, we have power for mechanical devices, technological devices, whatever. Really need a way to convert mana. This is an altar of birthing. It encourages animals to reproduce. You can actually, if you go to the ritual of birthing, by tossing down a spirit of birthing along with a raw beef and a leather, components for a cow, the altar will assemble a cow. So you can bring the pieces of an animal and a spirit and have it assemble it into the animal. Now, there's something a little weird about that, but okay. Something kind of necromantic, maybe. Not sure. A little weird. There's a number of other devices. There is the environmental ocular charm that I'm carrying around that gives me the ability to see aura and to have the status bar and so forth. Let's get to the really cool item. I've been bouncing around this little blue cube and haven't said anything about it. That is a world eye. It is watching the current chunk and keeping it under observation in order to keep it active. This is a chunk loader. You give it a redstone signal and it keeps an area around it loaded and active based on the, and I think it's based on the size. Let's just look it up here, because this is the cool thing. The radius in blocks is based on the redstone signal. Keep an area of 30 block radius, roughly. It does note. Up and running. This doesn't just load the chunk it's in. It loads a radius based on the strength of the redstone signal. This is really powerful. This is, yeah. This is the cool thing about this mod. You work your way up. This is a top level item. You have to complete the progression to be able to build a world eye. This is what makes Nature's Aura worth working through. You have a chunk loader with a configurable radius. The armor produced in this mod is actually pretty nice. I mean, an 8 and 2 chest plate is nothing to sneeze at, but I'm currently wearing an 8.2 with a plus 1.18 on my gold hearts, and because it's a legendary item, it can carry more enchantments. The enchantment limit is broken. I can layer more enchantments on this if I want to. I could put it came with protection 6. I didn't create that. We're running to the end of the day. Again, we have talked for several minutes about Nature's Aura. We have walked through a ritual of the forest. We have looked at the various other altars, and we have talked about the cool thing. So, that should be sufficient for an overview. I'm the Wandering Beekeeper. Farewell.